Hello everybody, this is Tien Kai, student Tien Kai, coming at you again with another video. Uh, this video today is going to be rather esoteric. I'm going to say, as I normally do, a lot of provocative things. This video, I entitled it The Apocalyptic of Feminine Being. Okay, and I call it an apocalyptic because I have been, as a man, I have been observing a range of female behaviors over the year and been meditating on those. And I finally come up with I think, a very uh, crystallized understanding of three types of feminine um, ethos or pathos that's saturating our environment right now. Okay. And the first thing I want to do, though, is begin by saying this. In all my videos, I always say that there are two types of human beings in this world. There's a human being that is like how the ancients were. They're conscious, they're perceptually oriented. Then there are human beings who are not. Okay? I refer to these human beings as rational beings. And I always say that it was the philosopher Immanuel Kant who used this term in the 18th century. He thought that this was the pinnacle of human evolution, but it is not. It is the exact opposite. Okay, rational beings tend to be thought-oriented. They tend to only think about things that are going on in their heads. They're not really perceptually oriented. And but one of the most crucial things about being rational that very few people understand, and they take this for granted. Obviously, if you live in a matrix of rational beings, there are certain behaviors in that matrix that you're going to take for granted without a second thought because they're normative. They're normal. But one of the things that pervades rational being reality is the notion of individualism. Okay. But what they're really saying in terms of how Western civilization operates is that I'm autonomous. I'm an autonomous being. I can do whatever I want. Okay? That translates into doing whatever you think. And the ancients were not like that. They did not create or do everything they thought. Okay? But today's human beings are doing that. So let me just point that out. The female is a very powerful being. Okay? She has power that is equivalent to us. Symmetrically equivalent, if I am to be precise. Okay? We're very physically strong. Okay? We're designed by nature to be that way. Alright? And so a lot of men, because this world is hyper, overly emasculated, overly masculinized, okay, we tend to not really pay attention to what kind of power a female possesses. Okay, what is that power? The power is here. It's the psyche. It's psychology. Okay, she has more psychological power than we do. All right, she's naturally designed to be psychological. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the vicissitudes of that psychological power in terms of three things that are affecting our world right now. Okay, and these things are apocalyptic. This is the apocalyptic of feminine being. Okay, when we think about the nature of the world today, we have to understand that the ancients were very different. They admonished the female, and they really held the female in a sort of an equal position to male being. All right. Um, so today's world is different. Okay. Today's world is hyper overly masculine. Okay. And a lot of these masculine cultures in this world are sociopathic. A lot of them are psychopathic. Okay. And we have to understand that these sociopathic behavior and psychopathic behavior has become normal in this world. Okay. Because of these men, these males. running everything, okay? When the ancient spilled over into what gave way to a more dominant male uh, role, there was a lot of violence in that, okay? And this world is very violent. The world that we live in today is very violent, okay? That violence has become normative not only in behavior but in language and thought, okay? And it's so it's so easy to not perceive it when you're a rational being because it's normative to a rational being. But conscious people can perceive this, how violent the world is. And when we're talking about the apocalyptic of feminine being, we're going to be talking about the form of feminine power being used is violence. That's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. Um, a woman has to circumnavigate a world where she's constantly bombarded with multiple levels of violence emanating from men. Violence in control, violence in manipulation, violence in behavior. She has to circumnavigate a world where that's constantly happening. Okay, thousands of years ago, our women learned to develop a defense mechanism against this violence. Okay, and it's called today repression. It's called repression. Okay, a woman has to repress a great many things about basically her victimization in this world. Okay. So, what is repression? And I want to say that Sigmund Freud really understood this, and I'm just going to expound on what Sigmund Freud and be a little more detailed than he did. Okay, a lot of people don't understand this. Okay, what repression is. Repression is when you experience something damaging, something violent, something traumatic. Okay, what your psyche does is that it forces you to remove that experience from your memory, from your active perception, from your active reasoning. Okay. This happens as a defense mechanism, right? You have to still function as a human being. How are you going to continually function as a human being if you're constantly dealing with the trauma that you've experienced? You can't do it. Okay. It can be very debilitating. Some people go into depression because of repression. Okay. Some people do that. Okay. So what is the dynamic of depression? What does it involve? Well, basically, it involves perception, language, and memory. That's what it involves. Perception, language, and memory. Whatever traumatic event that you experience, okay, through perception, you're going to negate a certain part of your perception that allows you to experience the event. That's what you're going to do. Whatever, how do you understand events? Well, you understand them through the language that you speak. So whatever language that you use to experience the traumatic event, you're going to remove certain elements of that language from the way you normally talk. Okay? And what about the psychology? Well, the psychology is going to tell you that, well, we're going to create an avenue towards memory. We're going to allow you, I'm going to allow you to repress the stuff. We're going to create a special place in your memory where it's just going to just stay there and be stagnant. But your psyche is going to tell you, I can't let it stay there, okay? Because it is a part of your active memory. It is a part of your memory, okay? So you're going to have to mitigate this in order to seek resolution, okay? So what Sigmund Freud said is that your repression, whatever you repress, you're repressing parts of your perception and you're repressing part of your language. It's going to show up spontaneously, cyclically, in your thoughts, okay? So you can mitigate it in order for you to overcome it, okay? That's called resolution. So when it becomes resolution, Freud said it was a superego, but it becomes wisdom. But the reality is that resolution is equivalent to the amount of trauma that you experience. So in order for you to experience resolution, it's going to have to be it's going to have a symmetrical relation to whatever you're experiencing. So if you experience something extremely violent, resolution is going to make you be violent in some way. That's what it's going to do. Okay? So Today's women have experienced thousands and thousands of years of these men, okay, making them basically repress certain aspects of their own personalities, okay, of being a female. That's what these men have been making women do. They're making women repress being a female. Okay, that's what the feminists are really trying to say. They don't realize that if they try to be equal to men in this normative world of over masculinization, that they're really trying to be. It's not good. Okay, so so here we go. A woman who is a mother, who is part of our community, and who is part of the world. Okay, okay. She's telling us something in terms of the way that she's acting. She's acting violent. Okay? And we don't really see it as violence. Okay? We see it as a functional part of an aspect of our cultural existence, of our civilizational existence. But it really is much deeper than that. Now, I said to you that a woman is just as powerful as we are. Okay, this is for you young guys out there. A woman is just as powerful as us, but she does it like this. She does it with her psyche. Okay, but there are three aspects to her psyche, okay, that we take for granted. And consequently, because she lives in a world where she has to repress everything, a lot of things about herself, she doesn't really pay attention to it either. Okay, and that is the fact that she's psychical. She's psychical or psychic, however you want to phrase it. She's very psychical, okay? And she manifests the psychical in three important ways. The first way that she does it is called prescient knowing, okay? What is prescient knowing? Prescient knowing means that, think about how a mother feels about her child. Think about that relationship, okay? She's very protective of her child. Prescient knowing is a powerful ability. It helps her to see something that's going to happen before it happens. Okay? Women can do this. All right? Women can do this more readily than men can, especially when it comes to her man or her male child. Okay? She's designed to protect you. Okay? So her psychical abilities she's going to feel out the environment, all right, that you're in. And she's going to anticipate, see in just a few moments into the future what may happen to you. Okay, you may be walking down the street doing something. Let's say, check this out. Let's say that a woman is really really attracted to you. Okay, right? You're walking down the street. A woman's really really attracted to you. The woman stops and wants to talk to you. Bring your phone rings. Okay, that's prescient knowing. That's your woman trying to protect you. She's trying to keep you, she's safe, protected. She's trying to keep her family together, okay? She's trying to protect her investment in you because you represent what constitutes her family being together, okay? The other ability that she has is empathic knowing. Empathic knowing. What that means is that she can read your thoughts. She can read your intentions, okay? She can read your personal intentions and thoughts, okay? And she will be able to respond in a manner that will allow her to protect it. I got a little story for you. I had a friend, okay, who used to go to Freaknik. I don't know if you young guys may not remember this, but he used to go to Freaknik, and he had these videos, okay? One day he came home from work. He was real tired. He was real exhausted. His wife was in the kitchen cooking, okay? He went downstairs. He said, he went down, he had a basement, he had a house, he had a basement, he went downstairs, and he said, well, you know what, I'm gonna get my clothes together to wash. When I get my clothes together to wash, I'm gonna sit down in my chair and I'm gonna watch this Freaknik video, okay? Of course, everybody knows that Freaknik videos have a lot of risque behavior on it, especially when it comes to women. Obviously, that's why most men went to Freaknik, right? Okay, so he says that 1 minute before he finished, now his intention is to sit down, okay, and watch the video. 1 minute before he finishes, his woman comes downstairs, baby, you know what, food is almost ready, let's watch a movie together. Let's do that, you know. And he constantly told me about this. He was a young guy. He thought he was going to be a bachelor forever. But when this woman came along, she did things to him that just blew his mind, okay? And she did this consistently, okay? And he would talk to me about it. And I experienced the same thing, okay? So this is very real. Empathic knowing, the psychical ability for a woman to empathically know how a man thinks is designed to protect what she has, okay? It's designed to navigate you, move you in a certain way so that you don't violate what you have with her. You don't disrupt it, okay? So that's her ability. Our ability is to protect by being strong and fighting people and this and that. But her ability is a lot different and it's a lot more sublime and underappreciated, okay? But her last ability is the deepest, okay? It's the deepest. And unfortunately, this ability, okay, is not good in today's world. It's not meant for us in the capacity that she uses it, but it is very powerful. This is how it works. Let's suppose that you're in a debate with your woman, or with your mother, with your sister, or whoever the woman is, okay? You're in a debate with her, and the debate gets heated, okay? Now, when a debate gets heated with a female, you have to understand, especially with you young guys, she's fighting. That's what she believes she's doing. She believes she's fighting. It's subconscious, okay? Because you're being very strong. You're probably posturing. You're probably slamming things down. You're probably using your fist. So you're showing your masculine behavior. You're showing your masculine strength there. So at this point, when you're in a heated argument, you're fighting. It's subconscious. She doesn't realize that that's what she believes you're doing, but she does. She is kind of sort of subconsciously thinking this, okay? So what is going to happen? Now remember, she's repressed a lot of things in this world, okay? She's repressed a lot of stuff. What does she repress? She's repressed the stuff that men do. So think about it. She has to mitigate this repression. She has to seek resolution. So she is going to say something to you, okay? That's not going to have anything to do with you. As a matter of fact, she may say something to you in a way where she seems like a completely different person. Okay? Remember, when you repress, you're repressing a certain aspect of your personality. Okay? Now, obviously, if you seek a resolution, you want to fight, you want to get somebody using violence against you all the time. You want to use violence back in order for you to seek resolution. That's what you want to do. Her third ability centers on this repression dynamic, okay? So you're going to be talking to her. You're going to think you're saying something logical or something that is easily understandable and simple. She will take all of that in offense, okay? Sorry, but that's what she's going to do. If you say, yeah, honey, this is simple to understand, that's going to be offensive to her, okay? So you have to understand, at this moment she's fighting, and these repressive emotions are coming out. A certain part of her personality is coming out now. There's nothing you can do about it, okay? You have to weather the storm when it comes to this, all right? So think about, you're going to use language, okay? And you're going to use language, everything that she did when she was being prescient, everything she did when she was being empathic. See, she knows you. Everything she did when she was doing that, she's going to pluck those things out, the words that you're using in your language, she's going to pluck those little things out, okay? And she is going to use that as an arsenal for her one powerful attack. And this attack is so powerful that it shuts men's minds down. It shuts your psyche down, and it makes you so emotional that you're going to retaliate. You're going to want to retaliate against her, okay? But this is what she's saying to you. Shut the F up and sit down over there when she does this, okay? That's what she's doing to you. What is she doing? This is what I call psychical implantation. She's going to implant a certain part of her psyche in you. She's going to kind of like project it, okay, through her language. It's going to be so shocking, so emotionally disrupting that you're not going to be able to offer any defense against it. And she's going to give it to you in a barrage. It's going to come at you so fast you won't be able to pay attention to any one thing that she says. Okay. You're not going to be able to do it. All right? Now, the men who have the hardest time dealing with this are the alpha men. The alpha males have a hard time dealing with this. Their immediate instinct is to do this. They really do want to hit the woman. Okay? Now here's the thing. Let's retract a second. The reason why this is happening is because this is her best power. This is her best ability. It is ability that really penetrates us beyond any defense. We cannot defend against that. Okay? There's no way you can do it. You know, I've tried. There's no way you can do it. Because that repression dynamic represents thousands of years of a woman, of the female, of the feminine repressing a certain part of her personality. That's what it represents. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? She has to get rid of this energy. And she has to fight the person who is doing it to her. But guess what? It's not us. She can't get to the person who's really doing it, who created all of this. She can't get to that person. Now I call this the first. This is first and foremost the first apocalyptic about feminine being. Why? Because she has two behaviors that makes her want to protect you in the family. But this last one is not protecting you. It's destroying you. It will completely dismantle who you are. Okay? And she may even say that. You're not a man. You don't do anything for me. You can't do anything. You know, she will say things like that to you. And yet, at the same time, she'll tell you that she loves you to death. Normally, she'll tell you that. Okay? So you have to understand, this is paradoxical. This is why it's called an apocalyptic. Because paradoxes are not supposed to exist in nature. It's not. The apocalyptic means that there are cosmic forces causing human beings to destroy themselves. Okay? This primary thing that she does destroys the family. It makes the man want to leave. It makes the man want to hit her. You see what I'm saying? It makes the man want to do things to her. And he won't care. He'll be in front of children. He'll be out in public. He won't care. See, this is very disruptive. This behavior is apocalyptic because it wrenches apart families. Okay? Right? Each person is using power. Okay? But the woman, assuredly, is doing it subconsciously. She doesn't even realize she's doing it. It just comes out. She can't control it. This repression is very strong. It's been developing for thousands and thousands of years in our females, and it's there, and it's not going anywhere. Okay? Because this is an apocalyptic situation that we're in. It's designed to destroy the family. Now I'm about to say something super provocative. Okay? There is a second type of apocalyptic anomaly that our females are expressing, and that's lesbianism. Okay? Why does the lesbian exist? Now, I've known lesbians, okay, and I can tell you they have menstrual cycles, you know. They have soft bodies, they have high voices, they're females, okay. I've talked to one. I can't say that I've talked to a lot of lesbians, but I talked to one, and this may not be indicative of all of them, I'm sure, okay, because of how probability is. But she was repulsed by becoming pregnant. She thought that was like the most repulsive thing that, you know, she just could not fathom becoming pregnant, okay? Even though she was having a cycle. All right? So she's obviously a female, okay? Now, here's the thing. Here's the phenomenon I've been witnessing for many, many years. A lot of lesbians will assume a masculine disposition. Why? Why are they? That's paradoxical, okay? If a female is designed to be with a man, that's how a female is designed. You cannot we're symmetrically equivalent. You cannot separate female being from male being. They're not separate. In this world, this world is synthetic. It's artificial. You have no need for natural biological proclivities, and you can think that those things are dichotomous. You can think that male and female are separate, but they are not. They are not. Females are by nature designed to be with a man. And men by nature are designed to be with a female. That is a symmetrical, interdependent relationship. You can't separate the two. So, but what is happening here? What is really happening? Are there conscious lesbians? I doubt it very seriously. Lesbians who are like this are being rational beings. Okay? They're being thought-oriented people. Okay? They're not understanding. They don't have the they don't perceive what I just said about the interrelation between man and woman. If she's still having a cycle, that means that nature is still trying to tell her you need to be a female. Okay? Nature is still trying to tell her to do that. Okay? But she's not going to do that. And she will assume a male personality, a male disposition. That is paradoxical. Okay? Think about what I'm saying as far as her representing the community. Okay? Lesbians representing the community. A lesbian representing the community is saying, I'm going to be the man, and I don't need the construct of a man. What in the world is going on here? Okay? The construct of a man exists because of heterosexual women. Alright? It doesn't exist because of lesbian women. What are you doing? Okay? This is very paradoxical behavior. Okay? And a lot of lesbians are highly individualistic. They really believe in that individualism stuff. Okay? And it's amazing to me. But that is the second type. This is the second apocalyptic of feminine being, lesbianism. Now the third type is the world type. Okay? This is the type that says that the man is, I have no concept of what a man is. There are no boundaries, there are nothing. Okay? Okay? And she's going to be physically, behaviorally violent. She will think that she can fight a man. I've seen, in real life, I've seen this happen in my own community. I've seen it happen on YouTube, Facebook. Women are starting to fight men. Little bitty tic-tac women are standing up against, monstrously physical men, and threatening them, telling them they're going to beat them down and F them up and all of this. Is incredible. I've actually seen them in my community, actually, they haul off and hit a man first. This third type of female is emergent. Okay? I didn't see this when I was growing up as a teenager. I never saw this. Okay? But this is something that is so apocalyptic that it defies description. Okay? For females to just, it's like they don't know where they are. These types of females, though, they don't understand anything about a male being. They don't understand anything about it. They don't care. It's like the male is nothing to them, He's not physically capable of suppressing them, So they will do things that are outlandish. Okay? So that's the third type. So we have three types. Okay? We have three types. Ladies and gentlemen, this situation is horrible. It is horrible. We have cosmic confluences telling us through our women, okay, that they need to fight this being, this hyper-aggressive, hyper-overly masculated being who's destroying the planet. They need to fight him. And they're assuming powerful dispositions, okay, to do that, but they can't get to him. Right? They're fighting us in our communities, but they can't get to the real person that's doing all of this stuff. And they want to. They desperately need to. Okay? The apocalyptic of feminine being is 1, destruction of the family. 2, destruction of the community. And 3, destruction of the man. That's what it is. I'm Tien Kai, student Tien Kai. See you next time.